Okay, sorry, that was a problem with the first presentation of the slide session, so we'll do that. Okay, it is a great pleasure that I welcome you to this special session. Obviously, we are here to promote the role of youth in addressing the challenges of sustainable development with a particular focus on the transition from the MDGs to the SDGs, and of course on discussing the proposal of a sustainable development solutions network of young people that comprises young people, which is now being examined by the SDSN Secretariat and the Executive Committee, and will hopefully be approved in coming weeks. To put it in the easiest way possible for anyone who may not have yet heard of it, SDSN Youth would be the global youth chapter of the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, which I am proud of being part of, and whose establishment I'm working on with a lot of brilliant and tireless individuals around the world, including today's speakers and many others who could not be present here today. And whom I want to thank personally, specifically the prospective coordinator of SDSN Youth, Sila University of Australia, and Tim Dobermann of the London School of Economics, which I think Mr. Dobermann knows pretty well. And he had to withdraw at the last minute, but however, also Melissa and Michelle, the communication team, and so on. But before we start presenting some key aspects of the SDSN Youth proposal, I will now leave the floor to Professor Achim Dobermann for some opening remarks. But and I remember everyone that we'll be taking Twitter questions throughout the session. So for everyone who is watching this through our live stream or here, you can send your question using the hashtags SDGs, Youth 2015, Youth Will, and Action 2015. So I'm obviously very, very humbled and honored to introduce Mr. Dobermann.
Great. So I think this is really a wonderful session. And I thought a lot how I was going to introduce this topic, and then decided, well, I'll make it a little bit more personal and reflect back on this question. When I was young, what was the stuff that was happening around me, and that kind of bothered me, and often also left me feeling helpless and powerless or uninterested. So those of you, I see quite a few still around who are 50 years or older. If you flash back in time 35 years to the year 1980, you may have been 15 or 20 or 25. You probably remember there was a lot going on in your life at that time besides chasing girls and other things. But it was like the Cold War. There were things happening like the US-Ukraine embargo against the USSR, and then followed by a boycott of the Olympic Games, which really made me upset, honestly speaking. Even then, we had the US peacetime registration for a draft for young people of age 18 to 25 because of the Soviet invasion in Afghanistan that was also happening at the time. We had the first strikes in the shipyards in Gdansk in Poland, which over the years then obviously had a major impact on the downfall of communist countries in Europe. We had Robert Mugabe, who became for the first time Prime Minister in Zimbabwe in 1980, still in power today. We had 2,000 pro-democracy protesters, but mostly young people in South Korea being shot down by the military, mostly old people in power. We had the Iran-Iraq war that started in that year. We had an equal quake that killed 1,700 people in the US that year. And there were lots of things happening in the technology world that we had no clue that they would impact our lives still today. The GPS, the global positioning system, started on January 6 in 1980. Nobody had a clue what it meant for us. The Audi Quattro car was first coming on the market in 1980. CNN was launched in 1980. Just remember that, you know, how that has changed our life. Tim Berners-Lee began working on the Inquire system, which was and years later, the worldwide impact. There's a lot of stuff happening that, I mean, much of it I actually had to know about, or didn't even know about. I was personally locked up behind the Iron Wall. I was serving as a soldier in the Eastern Army. I was being told that across the floor is the enemy, and if you're ready to shoot whenever those come. I didn't even know what was going on, but there were things that were going on, and I couldn't do anything about it. So what I have learned over the years is that world history is largely made by old people, like myself and uncles nowadays. Young people have a couple of things in common. They're extremely passionate about things, they're energetic, but they're also cash poor, powerless, sometimes angry for little things. So the question is, when we want to talk about sustainable development for the future, I believe decisions that are being made today cannot just be the result of a bunch of guys coming together and deciding this is good for the world. Because obviously, it's the next young generations that have to be in agreement with those decisions. And they also have to be the ones executing those decisions so that the old people like me can also have a nice environment life. So I think this is in many ways behind the need to engage young people and actually also from our end allow them to be engaged in quick local processes that normally are dictated by those who happen to be in power, and obviously usually also our ones of an older age. So the SDSN has a number of functions. It supports the global process of the SDG development, as Jennifer just laid out. We have also created already a worldwide network of knowledge centers and regional chapters, like the regional and national chapters. We want to support more practical problem-solving initiatives, and we want to also launch new initiatives. And they all have in common that we want to basically mobilize a community of people who, by and large, get inspired to actually do things without expecting to be paid much amount of money for this. Because that's the one thing that the SDSN does not have much money. It does not donor. So if anybody thinks, I'll be joining something there because I get money for my project, for my research, forget it. We all have to work on this together and find out those support mechanisms. But the biggest factor for me is that we have to be engaged and young people in particular if we want to get this right this time, because many of the examples that I cited that we have to be solved today. So from that angle, I'm really happy that a group of young people actually initially starting out of Monash University in Australia came together to now launch an youth initiative, and hopefully they will also have some concrete activities to push as they go to young community. With that, I give the floor to all of you to tell us what it's all about.
Okay, I would also obviously like to thank Mr. Dobermann for the enthusiasm he showed for the idea of addressing this audience about SDSN Youth. First of all, I would like to introduce our presentations by noting that it will not be about data. It will be about a proposal and a vision of youth engagement and with regard obviously to sustainable development. We of course don't need data to sell the idea that young people are at the center of the debate on sustainable development. And many of us who are here today come from countries that are seeing the challenges that youth is facing firsthand. And so we shouldn't be talking about data right now or concerns, but rather of opportunities, and this is why I'm talking about SDSN Youth today. Essentially, as I briefly mentioned before, SDSN Youth will launch and be a new initiative to engage youth globally in the post-2015 agenda. Through education and global cooperation, SDSN will encourage young people to prioritize the SDGs while creating a platform, a global platform, to advocate for change and formulate solutions and pathways for achieving the SDGs. And obviously, we will seek assistance and mentorship from experts and policymakers, and this is why we're engaging with SDSN. Obviously, we aim to be closely cooperating with them, and the key aspect of this proposal is, of course, represented by a focus on action and on empowering youth and supporting its active participation in the transition from the MDGs to the SDGs, but also helping young people worldwide initiate and scale projects that may help sustainable development, problem solving at local, national, and global level. Now, I think, apart from saying what SDSN Youth will be, which obviously my colleagues will talk more in depth later, we should be talking about, we should be showing you what SDSN Youth will be about as far as its mission and vision go. The international community inability of to move towards a sustainable future should obviously be a concern from all inhabitants of this planet, but particularly younger generations. Young people, as Ms. Dobermann suggested, have a stake, and I'm quoting from our proposal, simply because they will be the ones who will need to implement goals that are generating from discussions around the SDGs, the discussion about the post-2015 agenda. Our well-being will depend on achieving those goals, and as the future inheritors of this planet, young people must spearhead the sustainable development movement. As I have listed some of the reasons youth is directly interested in this process. Also, we are interested because there's a great opportunity for youth to be participating in this process and providing the debate with youth passion, youth creativity, energy, idealism. Young people can bring generational change and help the international communities prioritize those issues. For example, extreme poverty, human impact on Earth, inequality, and growing diffusion and complexity of governance. Youth should be seen not only as the recipients of international policy devoted to solve the challenges that youth is facing worldwide, including, for example, lack of education and internet, conflict, unemployment, human rights abuses, natural disasters, and so on, but also as key stakeholders who have the opportunity to participate actively in all relevant levels of decision-making processes and to bring unique perspectives through their intellectual contribution and their ability to mobilize support. This is obviously a vision which I outlined to our mission statement, and it goes as follows. Youth mission is to educate a global movement of young people about sustainable development and support and integration of innovative and sustainable solutions to global development challenges. In order for young people to be able to do so, there is an urgent need to overcome the obstacles represented by social exclusion, political disengagement, and general lack of youth involvement in those very processes. But youth empowerment has been a focus of the United Nations activities for several years now, and we believe that the transition from the Millennium Development Goals to the Sustainable Development Goals adds further importance to the concept of generational change and calls for new pathways and holistic approaches that youth may be included in. The launch of the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, thanks to its emphasis on education as a powerful tool for sustainable development, represents a great opportunity in this regard. And this is why we're striving to operate under its auspices. I should be, apart from the mission, should be listing very briefly what the aims and objectives of SDSN Youth will be. It's going to be 4. This is the first one. And you see, educate young people about sustainable development goals and encourage them to prioritize their implementation. They will, my colleagues will talk about this point more later, but I should just say that educational initiatives are a powerful mechanism for creating a movement of young people who are not only aware of the SDGs and challenges for achieving them, but also prioritizes them in their studies, professions, everyday lives, and voting preferences. So educating young people will also serve as a means of keeping the public informed and ensuring that governments are accountable to their constituencies in achieving these goals. This is the second aim: integrate concerns and views of young people into the pathways for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Youth engagement to participatory decision-making processes is a core objective of SDSN. This is one of the most important things that we aim to do. We plan to use SDSN Youth membership base as a source for effective feedback and commentary on SDSN reports, for example, and of other UN reports. This mechanism will ensure that young people's concerns and views are taken into consideration, and it will also serve the purpose of ensuring that all the age groups are contributing to the discussion around sustainable developments. And as you know, campaigns can sometimes be effective tools for influencing public policies. So with this in mind, SDSN Youth will engage in campaigns that will mobilize young people to influence policies at home. So for example, this year the emphasis will be placed on events such as the SDGs Summit and COP21. This is our third aim, to provide a platform for young people to connect, share ideas and experiences that address the challenges of sustainable development. Again, as my colleagues will highlight after me, SDSN Youth will serve as an umbrella organization. We'll bring groups together for more effective cooperation and greater social impact. The membership process for clubs and societies would be similar to the membership that SDSN Youth offers to universities around the world. We will also obviously work with regional and national centers to establish youth-focused sessions in their respective cities and campuses, annual conferences, and we will try to educate our peers about the SDGs. We'll host events throughout the years, run meetings of the Leadership Council, and also other important global events, including COP21, as I said before. Finally, we aim at initiating and supporting projects that are aimed towards achieving Sustainable Development Goals. This part of our effort will go towards regional projects or initiatives proposed and designed by youth, with the goal of making progress towards a specific goal, or more than one, obviously. And the key here is to sustain young people's passion by guiding them towards meaningful action and allow them to champion policies that can change their local economic, environmental, and social systems for the better. This empowerment will have maintained their enthusiasm and also prove to them that they have the power to steer the movement and meet the SDGs. Let me now conclude by listing what makes, in our opinion, SDSN Youth unique. These are 5 points. First one, we are having too much overlap with existing organization and competing in the same fields defeats the primary purpose for the existence of SDSN Youth. It's imperative for us to identify the aspects of SDSN Youth that make it unique while applying the ways in which we can assist other organizations whose mandate overlaps with that of SDSN. So, knowledge is the first point. We think we'll be unique on the ground of knowledge because we will back our knowledge and activities with existing research and expertise issued by SDSN thematic groups. By having the institutional support of SDSN and its members, this ensures that SDSN Youth can rely on expertise and existing research to identify the methods for achieving our objectives. Second point is accountability. Working closely with the leadership of SDSN will ensure that youth projects uphold the values of the network. Relationship of its nature will ensure professionalism within the network and will encourage a culture of accountability and transparency. As for networks, obviously by the virtue of being part of an extensive organization backed by groups and individuals from all over the planet, SDSN Youth will have the ability to draw on this relationship to expand into regions that other organizations might find difficult to. This will give SDSN Youth diversity of perspective and will ensure that global projects and campaigns are facilitated across borders more effectively. We will also focus on comprehensive, multifaceted, and integrated approaches to sustainable development. For example, most youth organizations generally focus on only one area of sustainable development, but we will have the opportunity to engage with the SDSN. So obviously, this gives us the opportunity to also engage with NGOs, development sector, business sectors. This is a comprehensive model which will position us to better tackle a range of issues across society, business, and politics as compared to other organizations. Finally, credibility. Obviously, SDSN brand brings great value to the youth network by providing a greater opportunity for engaging and cooperating with the UN family of organizations, as well as other prominent institutions, obviously. This will strengthen SDSN Youth ability and credibility when seeking to lead campaigns and projects around the world. And in turn, the credibility of SDSN will help attract more individuals to seek our mentorship. I would like to conclude just by, we are used to quote someone when closing a presentation. I would do the same. We believe that through these added values which I listed, SDSN Youth has the opportunity to stand for positive change and effective youth empowerment in the transition from the MDGs to the SDGs. In President of UN Economic and Social Council, Martin Sajdik, words, and this is the quote, "Young people must be seen as serious partners in soon-to-be adopted SDGs. The energy that helped us take the Millennium Development Goals from New York into local communities and countries around the world was to a large extent driven by the passion of youth-led organizations and their members. We must not forget that young people once again can be called upon to transform the SDGs from words in a document into a real and tangible guide for the next 15 years that will determine the future of people and planet." Thank you very much, and if there are no questions, I can leave the floor to Sila from Bogazici, University of Turkey, who will be presenting the proposed strategy on SDSN Youth. Thank you again.
Good afternoon, everybody. Firstly, I would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity to present ourselves and our works related to SDSN Youth. First, I want to introduce myself shortly. My name is Sila and I'm a master's student in Institute of Environmental Sciences in Bogazici University. At the same time, I'm a researcher in Sustainable Development and Cleaner Production Center, which is also in Bogazici University. As you can see, my presentation will be about the proposed structure of SDSN Youth and institutional integration with SDSN. The outline will be, first I will mention how will SDSN Youth integrate with SDSN's work, and then I will focus on the proposed structure of youth. Integration of SDSN Youth to SDSN. SDSN Youth wants to collaborate in the process and share the burden with SDSN in achieving sustainable development goals. Our aim is to increase the use of branding in activities of SDSN. Youth activities will be parallel with SDSN regionals and networks. We would like to be as partners in the aims and objectives of the network rather than participants. SDSN can help to build capacity through their knowledge and experience, and it will give young people who are achieving new solutions confidence in that they are part of an extensive and important global network. We know that SDSN is a trustable entity, so it has some standards and we need to fit in that. For doing this part, we should follow some factors. These are, we plan to, SDSN Youth will not be report to SDSN Secretariat, and appointment of advisors, sponsorship agreements, partnerships, memberships, drafting the guidelines for use of logos and branding, social media channels, publication of journals and summary reports, and finance and other matters will help us to integrate in SDSN. Now I want to focus on the structure of SDSN Youth. We believe that youth solutions will be most effective if it is built into the existing structure of SDSN and its regional and national centers. This will ensure us the greater cooperation between youth solutions and SDSN and its centers, which will mean that young people within those centers will have access to a great source of support and mentorship to carry out the tasks of youth solutions. Secondly, partners. SDSN Youth will seek out the partnership of key youth organizations committed to sustainable development from different regions of the world to help further expand the influence of SDSN among young groups. This will include some organizations such as National Youth Climate Coalition, UN Young Professionals Network, Climate Reality, and UN Foundation, etc. SDSN Youth Assembly will be comprised of youth leaders from each SDSN regional and national centers. The body will meet once a month and set out the network, mandate and provide monthly updates to the SDSN regional and national centers. It will also work closely with the SDSN Secretariat to draft administrative protocols and guidelines for the management of SDSN Youth and young people operating within the regional and national centers of SDSN. For regional and national representatives, SDSN Youth will be nominated by SDSN regional and national centers. The representatives will work with their centers to determine the priorities in their region and also country, including the SDSN thematic group that they will focus on. These representatives will be free to set up their operating model according to their circumstances and select their team in consultation with their respective regional and national centers. Lastly, for members, SDSN Youth will issue membership to university students, clubs, and societies, as well as young and youth-oriented NGOs, particularly from SDSN member universities, as well as organizations whose aims, objectives, and activities comply with SDSN purpose. Thank you.
Sila, Fulya, we also come from University. We will focus on potential SDSN Youth campaigns, involvement in the SDG process, and mission integration with the SDSN.
Thank you all for welcoming us in this beautiful atmosphere. I'm coming from Bogazici University. I'm a master's degree student in the Institute of Environmental Sciences, and also as Sila, I'm working as a researcher in the Sustainable and Cleaner Production Center. And today I will present you the SDSN Youth involvement to the Sustainable Development Goals and SDSN Youth campaigns will be active soon. Recently, SDSN published the 17 goals, and as youth, we are focusing and highlighting 4 goals. One of them is ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all of us. And one another is we will focus on sustainable consumption and production patterns. And of course, with our campaigns, we will be active in fighting climate change, and we will be focused on the adaptation plans energy action plans in the cities, in campuses with the youth. And again, as 17 and 16 goal mesh our purposes infinitely, and we will focusing to partner with different countries and organizations, youth organizations, institutions globally. And what we will be doing in the light of these SDG goals, we will have high school programs, and we will have SDSN edu activities, courses. There will be online courses. And in addition to that, we will have young master program courses. Again, online will be presented, and students from all over the world can participate in those. And we are planning to publish a journal, quarterly journal. Youth will be the authors of those articles. And what are we planning again? International and regional campaigns, which are so important, as Dario mentioned, and as Mr. Sachs mentioned, COP21 is coming, and before that we need to show our reactions, and we need to take some actions to enforce the decision makers, create an atmosphere that we needed for the future. And also we are planning to organize forums and workshops which will integrate and include the thematic groups inside of it, and which provide opportunity for youth to think creatively about the challenges that we are encountering now. And we are planning to develop projects which will help to collaborate locally all over the world and achieve the SDG goals. Thank you for all listening to me, and now Dario will continue with the next presentation.
Bettaccini of the University of Siena. It should be noted that it's pretty difficult to distinguish from one another when we have Skype calls and conference calls with the other guys in SDSN Youth. We need to specify which Dario. But you know, Sam and Tim and everyone learn to recognize our voices after a while. Anyway, Dario was explaining SDSN Youth outreach with the Youth worldwide and proposed additional initiatives more than that.
Well, good evening, everybody. I know it's late, you're all tired, and I'm trying to be as brief as possible. Let me just say that it's an honor to meet you here today, introducing you to the possible SDSN Youth outreach and plan initiative. Well, the global reach of SDSN and its strong association with universities all around the world and focus on education provides a unique opportunity for the effective involvement of youth. SDSN has issued more than 200 institutions membership around the world. SDSN Youth, therefore, needs to capitalize on this existing relationship to build an effective and expansive network of campus clubs and societies, which ultimately will be the membership base of SDSN Youth itself. On one hand, the regional and national centers of SDSN will be our main focal point for campaigns and activities, while on the other, the member university will play the key role of point of expansion into cities and communities where SDSN regional and national centers do not actually operate on the ground. In order to be successful in achieving our aims and objective, SDSN Youth must have a unique purpose. But at the same time, our activities should complement the efforts of already existing organizations. In other words, SDSN Youth, as Dario has already explained, will serve as a hub institution, will bring groups together, for more effective cooperation and greater social impact at the regional and national level. Through education and global assistance, SDSN Youth will encourage young people to prioritize the SDGs by building a global audience to advocate for change, formulate solutions, and pathways for achieving them. We aim to provide a platform for young people from different communities to connect, share ideas and experiences that address the challenges of sustainable development. SDSN Youth will then help regional and national networks to reach a wider audience, with a particular focus on students and youth through the engagement of young leaders and prominent youth organizations in each area. The appointment of regional and national youth representatives through the respective networks, as we have seen from the previous presentation, will also ensure close collaboration between the latter and SDSN Youth itself, and a fruitful exchange of information regarding potential partners, institutions, members, interested individuals, or donors. Regional and national centers of SDSN are critical for the effective and rapid expansion of the youth constituency. As important universities in their respective region, these centers may have access to many students groups whom they could encourage to engage in the SDSN Youth activities. By the utilization then of institutional channel of communication, we will engage student group and organizations operating in different local contexts on activities of the regional and national networks. SDSN Youth will expand the base itself and help to connect SDSN to the local student population thanks to educational initiative. Launching campaign educational initiative, organizational local events, support and give visibility to young people that begin sustainable development related projects and endeavors. At the same time, we will provide the different networks with skills and knowledge regarding youth issues. We will assist them in drafting reports, launching campaigns, and supporting action by ensuring that those aspects that potentially involve young people are fully considered and evaluated. We want them to integrate fresh and new ideas and views of young people to the pathways for achieving the SDGs. Given the important role of education for sustainable development as outlined in the UN activities, and concretized by SDSN through the launch of SDSN.edu initiative, SDSN Youth regards support sound educational actions to be one of its pillars. We are proposing to develop materials aimed at high school and university students, which would encourage participation in SDSN.edu in order to broaden youth engagement in SDSN open online courses. We will then take an active role in facilitating discussion on Max Forum through developing and sharing materials relating to the weekly topics, because students may wish to seek background information to better understand and the content and build upon the learning experience. Working closely with the regional and national centers of SDSN, we aim to produce regional specific content and discussion in order to tailor the course to each audience. This is where the high school presentation becomes more critical. For broad interest in students who may not have ever heard of sustainable development or SDSN itself, we can help guiding them towards this by sparking their interest and assisting them in finding a purpose within this field. So, in conclusion, why we are doing that? Because we believe We believe that generational change is possible if we invest in it. We can encourage new thinking, introduce new priorities, and formulate new methods. But more important, it's fundamental to raise a mindful behavioral change. Thank you very much for your attention.
Comments. We have some time for discussion, and we will also be taking some questions if there are any. Feel free to ask a question. As I said, and SDSN Youth, once it is launched, we will interact closely with regional and national networks. Being here in Siena is obviously important for us to see how this integration feels to experts and institutions in the area, and to your advice and comments. So we want to invite you to share also this proposal with the students and young people from your respective countries and universities. After the discussion, we will, okay, so I just put it all together. That's the question. That's the question from Twitter. Okay, is this
just to confirm that SDSN Youth, of course, we increase the work together with SDSN Youth. So, for instance, tomorrow we have a meeting of the assembly of the SDSN Bank. So, we hope that you will be part of it, or representatives of the network of youth will be part of it. And also, there is this important event of the Expo, and we are organizing a session of SDSN at the Expo Milan, so maybe we can work together to prepare our presentation in Milan. So I think there are a lot of opportunities, and I do thank all of you for your engagement, for your commitment to the SDSN Youth, and I think that we really can do a lot. So if you want to do anything in particular, or meetings or presentations inside University of Siena or other universities part of SDSN Bank, we will work hard in order to make it happen. So strong support to it.
Thank you so much. We're obviously looking forward to it, and I don't know if anybody wants to add something on this, but obviously we are glad that we had this opportunity to begin a conversation about SDSN Youth. The official launch is going to be in April or June at one of the SDSN events. So this is not the official launch. We have to work out the final details with the SDSN secretariat, as I mentioned in my introduction. But what we want to do is engage with members of the academia, members of the SDSN regional networks everywhere we can. And so, and the opportunity of being here today is very, very important for us, and we're glad that we had this. There are questions. Okay, so we got a question from Jess on Twitter. She says, finance is proposed for developing countries agriculture, for example. What about encouraging youth entrepreneurs in developed nations? Obviously, I want this question to be answered by Mr. Dobermann, if he has something to say about it. But I believe he has, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's the same problem in each country. If we want to have a structured transformation process and the food, the agriculture, and associate the steps around the value chain with the developing mechanisms to support entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs in particular. In developed countries, the entrance hurdles can be substantial, for example, because of the fact that land prices may be very high. Even if you want to become a farmer it's not as long as you can afford buying already paying price. But there are many hurdles along that way that one way or another, I think, even in the rich countries need to be addressed in the agricultural policy that we follow in the developed countries. I think it needs to be on the chopping block as well. We enjoy here in Europe common agricultural policy that is generally the basis on subsidies, but maybe there's a smarter way of doing this also. I think we saw in some of the presentations today some suggestions of this already. So maybe there's a smarter way, even in terms of smarter subsidies situations, to support those activities that are in fact of the more forward-looking kind, also in terms of transformation of agriculture, how to more sustainable agriculture. And often that will also be then linked to the benefit of supporting younger entrepreneurs. But I think we have policy tools that are in fact also more financial tools in those countries that, in my view, could be used in a different way than they are at present.
So much. There you have a question for Mr. Dobermann.
Mr. Dobermann, yes.
I think the question should be more about.
Yes, you have the experience that you can teach something in the distribution of this new network. So my question is about, in your opinion, what kind of difficulties and main challenges that you face this kind of network, and the main opportunities and some advice in this sense, especially for the difficulties that we could be find in the distribution of this new network. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. There are, of course, and I think we mentioned it already, many initiatives that works and other constructions out there in the world. And so the big question is how can SDSN Youth add additional value? And maybe also be somewhat different from whatever exists already. I think it's actually a question that the members of the SDSN Youth need to address and discuss and decide. It's not for me to answer this. The only piece of advice that I would give, but that's pretty much based on personal experience asking this. I sometimes get quite frustrated about having to deal with lots and lots of bureaucracy. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, action-oriented, have some concrete activities, some concrete things going on that actually help gain momentum also. Don't spend too much time thinking about complicated bylaws and structures, whatever else we have enough of this already.
We needed this to start it, but if I can add just something to what Mr. Dobermann said. From my personal experience, I got interest in the SDSN work from the fact that I'm a student, still a student here at the University of Siena, which is obviously Siena for the Mediterranean region, but also because I've been very encouraged by this double, this two-headed approach to this important, on one hand, this importance devoted to education, to young people, and to the role of universities and research centers around the world. As Italians, we tend to be discouraged at the role that universities play in our society. We believe they are underfunded, they are not so relevant in the public debate. And so having a network that has this objective to bring the university and research centers closer closer to decision making is something that we really appreciate and decided. And on the other hand, I simply focus on concrete problem solving. So I believe we'll see more of it tomorrow and that further interpretation of concrete solutions. Obviously, I saw it and people who were at the conference saw it, and we think we're continuing to see it through SDSN activities and through all the solutions that we can launch hopefully in the next few months and the next years also. Are there any questions? Okay, so I can just end it by saying just two more things actually. One is this is not really a question, but she says that's something that I want to share with you. She says youth are the largest demographic in the world, so let's empower them to create opportunity. So this is why we're here today. Last thing,
I have a number I can share. So
yeah.
we have over 7 million people. I asked Temizel to find the number of young people. We said it. There are 1.8 billion people aged between 10 and 24. 1.8 billion, that's over 25% of the world population. That's proportion of the whole people. Gives you the scale. If you can reach 100 of a percentage or something like this, it's still not.
Okay, so I want to close it up with something that unconventional, but we are SDSN Youth, so I'm glad that Fulya proposed it. We want to have this speaks right now seems to be very popular, so we'll be having a selfie in the audience. Just put it on our Facebook page. I didn't know that before, I swear.
So those will be also.
Great. Maybe we should just have our own self-technology stuff. And now it fails.
Çalıştı mı?
Get the center. Yes.
Non lo dimenticate, se no lo faremo.
Perché è rossa? No, mi sono gli acquistini e talmente il fossero sopra la Io l'avevo fatto preso.
No,